when Kennedy came to office, there were two areas of immediate concern for him. One was quite esoteric, was the matter of Laos, but was very serious. The Joint Chiefs wanted to commit U.S. troops to a war in Laos, which would have escalated. And the other one, which was much more in the public eye, was Cuba. And it had even come up in the debates, the presidential debates in 1960, and it was an odd situation where Kennedy was saying the administration should have a more active policy against Castro, and Nixon, who was in fact a gung-ho hawk and already knew all about the Bay of Pigs plan preparations, was having to pretend to say, no, we need to have a moderate policy and so on. And Nixon was very resentful of this later and felt that the CIA had briefed Kennedy, and it contributed to Nixon's paranoia about the CIA. Anyway, there wasn't much Kennedy could do when he came to office. The Bay of Pigs troops were already being trained. The plans were fairly far along. And what Kennedy did was to insist that it be deniable, which is the guide rule for all CIA covert operations. And this was to prove very important in the failure of the Bay of Pigs, because it was a disaster from the beginning, and almost immediately the CIA was, people in charge of the operation were requesting U.S. air support, and some people think that they had intended to ask for this all along and embarrass the president into supplying it. But in any case, Kennedy didn't supply it, and Cuba became a very controversial issue, much debated in Congress, in the newspapers, whether or not Kennedy had betrayed these troops by not supplying air cover for a second strike.